Alright, now not that I haven't done enough today, but now we're going to make dinner. So I got a bunch of cornflakes given to me, and I'm not a cornflake fan. Now, frosted flakes are great. I do like cornflakes if I have like fresh blueberries or something to put inside them. I like that way. So I'm going to try chicken wings with cornflakes, and I'm also going to use some barbecue sauce too. So I'm going to do 2 different trays. Now, instead of getting my handy dandy blender or whatever out, I'm actually just going to take my potato masher and I'm going to mash it up into small pieces. And then I'll put it in the bowl. I never even knew this could be a thing, actually, so this is my first time trying it. So we'll try it together and see how it works. That's how we figure out what fails and what doesn't, right, is we try it. Now, if I was going to make it as thin as some of the people say to make it, I'd have ran it through my blender. But I think I want, because I'm not much of a chicken wing fan anyway, I want it to be crispier. I don't want it to be like granuled, you know, like sugar. I want it to be where I'm biting into something. I know that sounds funny, but I'd have started dinner sooner, but Jack's goulash just stopped. So I had to wait for that because I didn't want to hear that the whole time. Then I'm going to take a couple eggs and I'm going to crack those. Put them in the bowl. It doesn't say to do this on all of them, but then some of them tell you to put all kinds of crap in it, and I'm not doing that. So we'll see how this turns out this way. If we don't like it, we'll never cook it again that way. That's how I look at it. Trial and error. That's the best way. And we're also having mashed potatoes, which, well, they're not mashed potatoes, they're just potatoes that we mash on the plate. Those are already on the stove on low. So if I do it usually on low, by the time the chicken's done, the potatoes will be done. Because I like to be able to put everything on the plate at the same time. So what we're going to do is take these wings and we're going to dredge them through the egg solution. And then we're going to cover them. That actually looks good when you do it that way. We're going to cover them with the cornflakes. This is going to be really weird because the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, Jack will not be cooking with me because he had enough goulash left. It wouldn't fill a quart, but it'd feed him and his girlfriend dinner, so we're going to cook by ourselves tomorrow, which is fine. I'm going to fill this tray up and then I'll show you what else I'm going to do. That actually looks pretty good. I wonder how it'd be on like chicken breast or something. I mean, we had somebody, I don't know what happened, but we had someone give us a ton of that, of that cereal. And like I said, not a fan. Now if it was blueberry season and you had blueberries to put in it, or if I had bananas, I'd have been on it, put a little bit of sugar on it, and I could eat it all day. But without those things, I'm not a cornflake fan. My husband will eat it, but then he'll eat anything. That's not true, actually. Too bad we were doing the pantry thing this week, because actually I've been promising to make some liver and onions, which he says he hates it, but honestly, you guys, he eats every bit of it when I make it. So I think it was the way his mom made it, because back in the day my mom did it too. You fry it in grease and it makes the whole house smell, and then they breaded it in flour, and ugh, yeah, I don't like it that way. So actually, for several years after I even moved out, my dad, he would always want me to cook the liver and onions, and then he had my niece doing it because he liked it better. But I think she does the breading too, I think. So we're going to call it good with those. Let me wash this off my hands and I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, you guys. Just kidding. Oh, it's messy on the hands. But that's okay. Jack is so funny. He actually got in with his hands today. And he he did his goulash. I was quite surprised because, you know, there was a lot of it. And I didn't even tell him to put his hands on it, which was awesome. I have no idea what that was. But he did it without being asked. He hates to get dirty with the food. And I'm like, didn't you ever play with your food when you were a kid? So, this actually is, I told you can recan things. This actually is barbecue sauce that's been recanned. We bought great big huge things of it, and we recanned it. We did that with, like I said, our ketchup, mustard, relish, let's see, mushrooms, some peppers, quite a few different things we did that with. And I did even sweet relish because I ran out of my homemade. And it's really not the season to get everything you need for it. So now these ones I'm going to just dip in the barbecue sauce. We didn't expect this many wings because Jack was going to be cooking with us, but he had a lot of that barbecue chicken left from yesterday too that we canned, so they had that for their dinner and stuff today, so, which is fine. It's nice to once in a while cook without a helper. I want to tell you guys something. I know that we only have like 70 some subscribers, but you know, when I'm talking to the camera right now, and I never thought, like, I never could understand how people that were on YouTube could talk to you like they knew you. And, you know, honestly, I don't know who you guys are, and if you want to put something about yourselves at the bottom, you know, it's like I really am talking to you and not on the screen, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of cool. My sister, again, like, she's starting her channel up, and it's nice to see her getting her some of her confidence back. And she actually did a video about her trach and stuff, and you know, I mean, we're pretty confident it's going to come out, but if it doesn't, she's adapting to who she is, and that's a good thing. She was worried about what everybody would think with the trach in her throat, and you know, I say it like this: if people don't like you for something like that, then you know what, they're really not worth being around, because she went through a lot to get where she is today, and we really didn't think she'd make it, let alone be doing her videos again. Never thought that would happen. We've been trying to encourage her, you know, to get back to canning and get back to doing her dehydrating and her freeze drying, and she's been doing all of that, and it's wonderful. And I think she's growing, because I guess near-death experiences really do. They give you a whole new prospect on life. And I think that's what she has. She has a whole new prospect on life. And that's a good thing. I'm not going to have quite enough of the barbecue sauce, and I got one wing left. Go figure, isn't that how it always works? So we'll have a partially covered one, I guess. Excuse me. Alright, now I definitely need to wash my hands for this. So, like I say, if you can go over to Nessa's Nook and check out her channel. She does gadget cooking. I'm just not into that. She tries to get me, but I'm just not into it. So, I'm going to stick these in the oven. And I would say to cook them 30 to 45 minutes. Kind of check and see if, you know, if they're getting done or not. And then, if you remember, we had squash the other day. It's getting kind of wrinkly, so I don't want it to go to waste. So we're going to fry up the rest of the squash tonight for dinner. And so to do that, oh, my allergies are about kicking my butt today. By the way, the husband got the tree out, and he's transferring it right now as we speak. So I'm going to cut these in a little bit thicker slices. I usually cut them pretty thin, but I'm going to chop them in half, I think. Boy, they're a pretty big base. So he's out on Father's Day, working out in the yard. I'm sure that's all he wanted to do today. But, like everything else in this world, like he says, you always got time to do the things you want to and make excuses for the rest. And you know, I found through the years, he couldn't be more right. Because, you know, if we want to do something, we always find the time to do it. When we don't, we make excuses for why we didn't have time to do it. I think that saying actually came from his dad originally. That was nice. Piece one on the floor. Too bad I didn't have a dog. But now if that was watermelon, my cat would be right out here. My cat loves watermelon. If he smells it, he's right there. You can't keep him away from it. Loves watermelon. And then I'm going to open up a new can of my canned butter. And we're going to put butter in there. You guys, this butter is so easy to do. And I only use it to cook with because unless you make it into ghee, it's kind of not grainy, but kind of a little bit. I can kind of show you on this one. You can see little itsy bitsy types of green, you know, like granular things on there. But if you actually boil it longer and make it into ghee, then it's really, really super fine and it's great. So I'm going to put some salt and pepper on these and put them on very low as well. I actually have some strawberries. I'll probably chop a few of those up as well for dessert. So when dinner's completely done, I'll come back. Jack's stuff is done, and believe it or not, you guys, we picked him up a used water bather yesterday, and I suggested to him, I says, well, why don't you take that home and try it yourself? So when I show you pictures of everything final tonight, his cheese won't be in there. He took it home, and he's trying to can it himself, so we'll see how that turns out. I want him to become more independent without me all the time, so every once in a while you got to kind of push him a little bit. So again, that'll be dinner, and I'll come back and show you what everything looks like when we're done, and I'll also post the video of the stuff we canned for Jack today. You guys be good to each other, love each other, be a blessing, even if you can't find one. And then sometimes this day and age, it's really, really hard to find a blessing. But be good to one another. Peace, love, wellness to everybody. I'll be back. All right, dinner is served and we're ready to dig in. You guys have a very blessed day, and we'll start tomorrow with our pantry cooking. Have a great night.